These numbers are really shocking, and may Allah bless you. Now, I understand that in in 2019 alone, there was a count of 42 billion visits on pornographic websites, or on a particular website, to be more accurate. And not only that, that was only in 2019 alone, which is equivalent to 115 million visits per day. And not only that, that there's also 25% of terminological searches via Google or any kind of search engines that is related to adult content. And what is even more strange is that 35% of downloads are related to pornographic content. So when we look at the numbers, we see that there's a very high traffic. And when we see the search engines, we see that there's a very high interest. And when we see the downloads, we see that there's a very high level of commitment. And that is a very dangerous result. Don't you agree? If you can have your personal intake on this one.
Jazakallah khair for bringing this up. And this has been, I've been monitoring that particular website because they themselves, they issue a review every year telling the people and boasting about how many people have visited them every single year. And every year the number escalates and increases by the millions. So if you compare between 2019 and 2018, there has been 38 million visits on that particular website in 2018, 42 billion in 2019, and God alone knows how many more billions will jump onto that website in 2020, in the year 2020. And I'm expecting a massive escalation, a massive increase, especially because during the lockdown, that particular website opened the premium account for free.
Yeah, this is really shocking. Like, they're very generous on this one, and it's just so
Yes.
shocking. And how
And
can
that's how,
yeah,
sorry to cut you off. This is how they hook people because they know the psychology of addiction. They know how it works. Once I give you that high end product, you wouldn't look at the cheap ones. You would always aim for the high. And they open it for a period of time, and then after that they tell you now it's time to pay. This is how they hook you up on their products. And by the way, my brother, this is only one website we're talking about. 42 billion visits a year. This is only one website. Do you know how many websites of that nature exist today? By the millions. By the millions. And if we requested from each of those websites to provide statistics, we would be like, are people doing anything other than pornography? Like, are they doing anything else but pornography?
exactly, which is a
That's
shocking number. Not only that, Mr. Wael, with your permission. Now, what I also found out is that each and every second, and this is a very weird amount of money or capital they're making per second, $3,042 per second is their profit. Imagine, like, they make a profit every second, $3,042. And I can't remember if this was based like in the US or in the world alone, which is a very high number. Not only that, I also found that there's 116,000 count of requests for child pornography to all of these companies around the world, which is not only disgusting, but to what extent and the unethical nature. They couldn't care less. They just want to make the money. That's it. And we're being consumed. Society is being consumed.
That's why the Aware Academy, led by Dr. Muhammad Abdul Jawad of Egypt, from Egypt, who started this idea, I think, in 5 or 6 years back. He is stressing this point that we have to educate the masses, raise awareness about the harmful impacts of pornography to protect the coming generations. If my child is addicted at the age of 8, 9, and 10 because devices are now accessible and in every home, then by the age of 18 and 20, how would he ever be able to focus on his prayer? How will he ever focus and memorize Quran? How will he do all his ibadat? I get a lot of comments from my clients saying that as soon as I say Allahu Akbar in my prayer, I see pornography. I
Ya
see
Allah.
pornography. The flashbacks hits immediately after they say Allahu Akbar. They cannot focus anymore. Pornography, according to researchers, we'll discuss that perhaps in later episodes. Pornography could hack that most important part of the brain, or one of the most important part of the brain, the prefrontal cortex, that is, responsible for our motivation, for our willpower, for our focus, for our memory, for our decision making. It shrink it physically. We will talk to some of the experts about this in details, but this is what porn industry is promising people,
But
and we have to be aware.